My name's Brian Taff. I was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Grew up on a reservation in New Mexico. Came out here to Hawaii about 10, 12 years ago. Just been started off DJing in 2001. Basically my name is Wish, DJ Wish. I came up with that one. Well, I didn't come up with that one. Got that one a long time ago from my brother. He was an old school graph head and basically was hating on my original graph name, Splash, like we were just talking about. And he was just basically like, yo man, you can't be out there writing that on the street, trying to get that on a wall. The cops are gonna catch your ass. So basically just hit me up. He's like, yo, write this. Hit Wish. Wrote that down and stuck with that ever since. Pretty simple, you know. My influences, you know, DJing is where I grew up. Records, you know, digging for records, sitting there, going through that shit all day long, going to the record shops, the thrift shops, going to garage sales, everything like that. Hearing that first record, it's something about just this right here, you know. I got into making beats because, you know, I grew up with a crew, THA, Typical Human Animals, and, you know, I DJ'd for them for a long time, but then I wanted to get more versatile and like helping them with the beats because they had their own style. I'd sit there just listening to samples, and you know, I didn't really have no way to record anything, so I just wrote down all the samples and finally was able to get some programs to get that shit recorded and everything. And now I moved on to Ableton because I know it's a easier program for me to work with, and I can use my APC 40 where I can play everything out live, and it's a real simple sample-based program that's using clips. You know, it's just real. For me, it's real intuitive. Basically, my whole style is just going through records, you know, sitting there, listening to one record after another. You find that one little cut, that one little sound, that special noise, that fucking break, whatever it is. I had an MPC 1000 for a long time that I used to sample and chop with, and then that's when I learned how to chop and how to play it out differently in different ways. And then from there, like I said, I went on to the Ableton, where it's got way more of a, you know, a foundation to really produce things and master them and do everything from that one program. Where when I was using that MPC, I'd be able to make the beat, but then I'd have to go through and figure out how to master it and do everything that way, because it wasn't the easiest for me to sit there and count numbers and turn knobs and, you know. But so basically I just sit here and I just listen to records. That's what I do. The Unknown was this local group that I grew up with. They're, you know, probably about 6-7 years older than me when I was little. They're a local group where I grew up, and they actually just, you know, I heard them play, and that kind of like pushed me to be like, oh dude, these people are doing it here, so we can do it too. And then, like, you know, a lot of my crew too, Typical Human Animals, saw that too, and we're like, oh, we can make our own music, we can do this, because, you know, we are all old hip-hop heads. And like, I listen, like you said, like De La, DITC, but even like, you know, Grandmaster Flash, like Grand Wizard Theodore, even these old school heads from way back in the day that were like DJs that I knew because of my brother. I've always been a hip-hop head. I've been a backpack kid, like, you know, walking around with my backpack and my headphones and my skateboard. That's what I did, you know, my whole life. Man, it's actually a couple of my friends are talking about it, and I was like, oh, there's beat competitions? I never knew there was anything. I just sat in my room and in here making music, just doing this shit for myself, you know. When I heard there was a beat competition, I was like, I just go check it out, go see what's up, you know, and just stop by, watch, and I was like, shit, I might as well enter. I got plenty of beats to go. That was the main thing, is got me more stoked to do everything that I wanted to do, because like sometimes sitting in your room by yourself or sitting in your apartment doing your thing, and it's cool. But when you can get it out to other people, like how you guys are doing a great thing with this Beatroot, that you can get like music out to everybody now. Mostly what I do is DJing, so I'm rocking the Pioneer, which I got hooked up with. Luckily, I had a Rain before that, and that thing just died, and luckily I had a friend that had a spare mixer that could hook me up. I got lucky on that one. Like I said, blessed. First beat was on the MPC 1000, and then from there went to the Logic. Most of the time I'll sit on the couch and make a beat. I'll be with my, you know, walking around. I'll go to Starbucks or go somewhere and just sit there and, you know, pull out the laptop and just start messing around. Just, once you get down to it, you break it down. It's not that hard to do. People think it's super hard to make a beat, but it's really not that hard. You just gotta have the time and the patience to sit there and learn how to make that. It's just the records that are the most important thing to my whole, studio. I guess I wouldn't be anywhere if I didn't have the records. I'd like to throw some shout outs to my original crew, Typical Human Animals, Archivist crew, Booge, Big Tenfold, Lim, Dax1, Zeus1, Frog, just the Light Sleepers crew, all the hip hop heads in Hawaii, just people that love good music, man, basically. Anybody that loves good music, shout out to you, because without you guys, we ain't nothing. Word, this is Wish. I'd like to say big ups to Light Sleepers crew, and I want everybody to be at Next Door January 8th for this next Grand Champion Beatroot. I'd like to show shouts to everybody. I want to all see you there. I'm gonna be playing the hotness, the dusty crates, throwing them out there. So hopefully we'll see all you beautiful people out there. Shoot.